What if I just said, yes, please, the first time?
You'd look greedy. Like you have no self-control.
It's so complex. A whole choreographed ballet just to get a snack. Okay, I have a confession to make.
Oh,
And honestly, looking at all the research we pulled for today, it's a little painful to admit this out loud, but I feel like I'm among friends here, so I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid off.
this sounds juicy. We're starting the deep dive with a confession. What happened?
So a few years back, I was at this big conference. I met this guy, American guy, super friendly, just like high voltage energy. We're chatting, really hitting off, talking about our shared love for obscure 80s sci-fi. It felt like a real connection.
Okay.
And at the end of the conversation, he claps me on the shoulder, gives me this huge smile, and says, hey, we should definitely hang out sometime. Let's grab a beer.
Sounds like a great connection. Standard start to a beautiful friendship.
Right. That's what I thought. So being the, organized, literal person I am, I went home and I emailed him. I suggested 2 specific dates for the next week. I even looked up a bar that had a sci-fi theme. I was ready.
Oh, no. I can see where this is going. Let me guess. Radio silence.
Total ghost town. Nothing. And then a week later, I see him online posting about his great week, and I just felt so rejected. I was spiraling, thinking, why did he lie to me? Why make me do all that work if he hated me?
Oh, that is so painful. But I have to tell you, you walked headfirst into one of the biggest traps in what we call the American hidden script.
The hidden script.
Exactly. See, you were operating on textbook English. You heard the words, we should hang out, and you interpreted them literally as a plan.
As a plan to meet, yeah.
But in the hidden script of American culture, that phrase, it often has zero functional meaning.
Okay, so if it doesn't mean let's hang out, what on earth does it mean? Because to my ears, that sounds like a contract.
It means, I enjoyed this interaction, you seem like a nice person, and I want to end this conversation on a high, positive note. It's a vibe, not a calendar invite.
A vibe, not a contract. That is wildly confusing.
It is, and that's exactly what we're unpacking today. We've got this stack of cultural analysis, communication guides. We are diving into the unwritten code of American English. Because you can have perfect grammar, you can know the whole dictionary, but if you don't have the decoder ring for these social rituals, you're just going to feel lost.
I feel like I need this decoder ring desperately. So our mission today is to basically save everyone listening and me from ever being that person sending calendar invites to a stranger again.
Precisely. We're going to move beyond just the words and get into the why. We're going to look at things like phatic communication, the difference between peach and coconut cultures, and, why a no on the West Coast counts like a yes, but can be a hidden insult in the South.
I love this. Let's crack this code.
So let's start with the foundation. The biggest disconnect really comes from the difference between functional information and social lubrication.
Okay, break that down for me. Functional versus social.
Most traditional language education, it focuses on functional info. If I ask you where the bathroom is, you tell me. It's transactional. It's simple.
But so much of American communication is driven by psychology, specifically. A desire to be liked, to be optimistic, and to avoid friction at all costs.
Which explains the let's hang out thing. He prioritized the good feeling of the moment over being accurate about the future.
Exactly. There's a great concept in one of these linguistic studies called phatic communication.
Phatic, how do you spell that?
P-H-A-T-I-C. It's a term for speech that has no real semantic meaning but serves a social function. When you say hello, you aren't stating a fact. When an American says, how are you? They are not asking for a medical report.
Right.
They're just signaling, I acknowledge you and I'm not a threat.
That's the how are you trap. I think everyone has messed this one up at least once.
Oh, it's the classic rookie mistake. Let's test it. I want to role play this. I'll be an American colleague in the break room.
You be.
Well, you before you add the decoder ring. The literal you.
Got it. I'm literal, honest me. Ready.
Hey, good morning. How are you? Oh, honestly, it's been a rough week. My back is doing that spasm thing again, so I didn't sleep well. And then my cat threw up on the rug this morning, so I'm just feeling really drained.
Oh, wow. That's a bummer. Hey, I gotta run to a meeting, but hang in there.
Okay, yeah. I could physically feel you recoiling there. It felt like I just slapped you.
I was backing away slowly. It was visceral. I just wanted coffee, not your diagnosis.
But dissect that. I answered the question. You asked how I was.
In the hidden script, how are you isn't a question. It's the second half of hello. It's a ping. I send a ping, you return a ping. That's it.
So by giving you actual heavy information, I broke the ritual.
You turned a 5-second handshake into a therapy session. The American script expects well, a scripted response. Good you, or not bad, how about you?
Or living the dream. I hear that one a lot. It always sounds a bit sarcastic.
It usually is. But it fits the script.
But here's the thing, and I think a lot of our listeners struggle with this. It feels so fake. If I'm having a terrible day, isn't it just lying to say good?
This is the devil's advocate question, right? Isn't it shallow? Isn't it fake? But let's look at the peach versus coconut theory from these cross-cultural studies.
I've heard of this. Some cultures are coconuts, some are peaches.
Exactly. So many European or, say, Slavic cultures are coconuts. Hard shell, difficult to get to know. You have to work really hard to crack that shell.
Right.
But once you're inside, you are friends for life. The inside is soft and sweet.
Okay. And Americans are the peaches.
Soft, fuzzy exterior. Very easy to talk to. They smile, they chat, they'll share personal details really quickly. But, and here's where the let's hang out guy got you, eventually you hit the pit.
The pit, the hard center.
The pit is their actual private life. Just because you got through the soft skiing doesn't mean you're in the inner circle. So when you say good, you aren't lying. You're respecting the peach. You're signaling, I'm professional, I'm polite, and I respect your privacy enough not to burden you.
That actually changes the perspective completely. It's not a lie. It's a courtesy. It's keeping the fuzz soft.
Exactly. Now, if we're close friends and we're sitting down for coffee and I look you in the eye and say, no, really, how are you? Then you can tell me about the cat.
But in passing.
Stick to the script.
Got it. Good you is the safe zone. But we've been talking about Americans as this one big monolithic group. And looking at these maps and guides, that seems like a huge mistake.
Oh, massive. A New Yorker is definitely not operating on the same software as someone from Los Angeles.
It's like different operating systems entirely, like Windows versus Mac.
And if you try to run a New York program in Seattle, you're going to crash hard.
So let's break this down by region. Let's start with the Northeast. New York, Boston, Philly. What's the core value driving the script there?
The key word is efficiency, or, maybe time. In the Northeast, wasting someone's time is like the ultimate sin.
Okay, so that stereotype that New Yorkers are rude.
It's a misunderstanding. They aren't rude. They have East Coast bluntness. They value competence and speed over everything.
Give me a scenario. How does this play out?
Okay, imagine you're ordering coffee at 8 in the morning on a Tuesday. In many parts of the world, or even the American South, you'd chat. Hi, how's your day? Crazy weather, right?
Yeah, you make small talk.
In New York, if there is a line behind you, doing that is basically an act of aggression against the collective.
Because you're holding up the flow. You're stealing time from everyone else.
Right. The polite thing to do in New York is to step up, say, large black coffee, please, tap your card, and move. You aren't being cold, you're being respectful of everyone's time.
I can see how that would be shocking if you're used to a more chatty culture. You'd walk away thinking the barista hates you.
But the barista actually loves you because you were fast. Now, contrast that with the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington.
Land of chill.
Exactly. Good vibes only. The West Coast script is totally different. The priority there is avoiding negativity and maintaining this, relaxed, casual atmosphere. Informality is professional.
So my New York suit and tie won't work.
You'd probably look uptight, like you're trying too hard. But the trickiest part, and the one that burns people in business, is how they say no.
Oh, I've read about this.
Yeah.
The infamous California no.
Yes. In New York, if you pitch a bad idea, they might just say, no, that doesn't work, try again. It's direct, it stings, but it's clear. You know where you stand.
Efficient.
On the West Coast, that kind of directness is seen as harsh or killing the vibe. So instead, you get the fog.
The fog.
You pitch an idea, and they'll say, yeah, that's interesting. We should definitely explore that down the road. Let's put a pin in it and circle back.
To me, that sounds incredibly positive. Interesting. Explore, circle back.
And it almost always means, I hate this, and we will never speak of it again.
No way. That's interesting means I hate it.
Often, yes, or yeah, maybe, is a hard no. The hidden script here is that they don't want to be the person who brings bad energy into the room, so they just stay vague.
That is terrifying. You could walk away thinking you made a deal when you really just got shot down.
Which is why you have to listen for what's not there. If they don't give you a date, a time, a deadline, it's a California no. It's the ghost of a promise.
Okay, so we have the fast-paced, blunt East, the vague, chill West. What about the middle? The flyover states.
Yeah, the Midwest. This is the land of Minnesota nice.
I've heard of this. It sounds pleasant. Who wouldn't want people to be nice?
It is pleasant on the surface, but the Midwest script is built on two things: humility and extreme conflict avoidance. You do not think you are better than anyone else.
That sounds like a pretty good community value.
It is, but the trap is the passive aggression. Because they value niceness so much, they can't express anger directly. It's almost physically impossible for them.
So if I annoy someone in the Midwest, they won't yell at me.
Never. They'll just smile a little tighter, maybe not offer you the last cookie. You might not know they're mad at you until 6 months later when you realize you haven't been invited to the barbecue.
That is high-stakes social poker.
It really is. There's actually a specific ritual about food. It's called the refusal dance.
The refusal dance. That sounds like a bad wedding tradition.
It sort of is. If you're in the Midwest and someone offers you a piece of cake, the script says you must decline the first time. Oh, I couldn't.
Okay.
Then the host insists, oh, go on, just a little slice. Then you have to decline again, but a little softer. Oh, I really shouldn't. Then they insist the third time, you have to try it. And then you can accept.
What if I just said, yes, please, the first time?
You'd look greedy. Like you have no self-control.
It's so complex. A whole choreographed ballet just to get a snack.
It's about not imposing. But let's go south, because the South has maybe the most famous hidden script phrase of all time.
Oh, I think I know what's coming.
Yeah.
And set the scene first. What's the driving value in the South?
Hospitality and honor. It's a slower pace, much warmer. In New York, you ignore strangers to respect their privacy. In the South, ignoring a stranger is an insult. You acknowledge everyone.
But there's a trap here too, right?
A huge one. It's a difference between friendly and friend. Southern politeness is armor. Just because they're calling you honey and sweetie and asking about your mama doesn't mean you're in their inner circle. It's just good manners.
And the phrase. The weaponized phrase.
Bless your heart.
Ah, bless your heart. I have actually had this said to me. I dropped a stack of papers in a lobby in Atlanta, and this sweet lady helped me pick them up and said, oh, honey, bless your heart. I thought she was praying for me. I felt so cared for.
She was praying for your competence.
What does that mean?
Bless your heart is the ultimate Swiss Army knife of Southern English. On one hand, it can mean thank you, genuinely, but very, very often it is a polite way of saying you are an idiot or you poor naive thing, you have no idea what you're doing.
So she was calling me clumsy.
She was saying, you poor thing, you can't even hold papers correctly. But she said it with love. That's the key. It wraps the judgment in a layer of sugar. It lets them enforce social norms without ever being technically rude.
That is devastating. I've been walking around thinking I was blessed when I was actually being insulted by a grandmother.
That's the hidden script.
This is a lot to take in. We've got the fake let's hang out, the ritual how are you, the efficient East, the vague West, the passive Midwest, and now sugary insults from the South. How does anyone actually navigate this? Especially in, like, a business setting.
That's the big question. And a great practical application that comes up in our business sources constantly is the feedback sandwich.
I'm getting hungry with all the peaches, coconuts, and sandwiches, but I'm guessing this isn't about lunch.
No. This is how Americans often give criticism,
Yeah.
and it confuses people from more direct cultures like Germany, the Netherlands, Russia endlessly.
Okay, so how does the sandwich work?
The top bun is positive praise. The meat is the criticism, the bad news. And the bottom bun is more positive praise to close it out.
Positive, negative, positive.
Exactly. Let's do it. I'm your boss. I need to tell you your quarterly report was terrible, and you need to rewrite it.
Okay, lay it on me. Be my boss.
Hey, I really loved the energy you brought to this project. The enthusiasm is just fantastic, and the fonts you chose were really readable.
Oh, thanks. I worked hard on the formatting.
Now, the data analysis in the report is actually completely wrong, and we can't use any of it, so you'll need to redo it by tomorrow. But I really do like how you organized the cover page. It looks great.
Yeah.
So what did you hear?
Honestly, I heard that you loved my energy in my cover page. The middle part just felt like a small detail because you wrapped it in so much happy talk. I'd probably walk away thinking I did a pretty good job.
And that is where the crash happens. A non-native speaker might walk away thinking, my boss loves my work. Meanwhile, the American boss is thinking, I clearly told them the report was garbage.
Because they missed the meat. They just ate the bread.
Exactly. Psychologically, we talk about the primacy effect, what you hear first, and the recency effect, what you hear last. The sandwich emphasizes the good stuff to soften the blow. But if you weren't listening for the meat, you miss the entire point.
So if you're listening to an American give feedback, You almost have to mentally delete the first and last sentence.
Often, yeah. Look for the signal words. The biggest one is but. You're great, BUT. Everything before the but is just warm-up. The truth comes after. Or, however, or, moving forward, let's try.
This is genuinely mind-blowing. It explains so many confusing emails I've gotten where I wasn't sure if I was being scolded or praised.
It's all about context. High context versus low context cultures. Americans are somewhere in the middle, which is what makes it so tricky. They aren't as direct as the Dutch, but not as indirect as, say, Japanese culture.
So, bringing this all together, it seems like the common thread is that American English often prioritizes the relationship over the literal truth in casual interactions.
That's a perfect summary. And I think the most important thing for our listeners to realize is that this isn't about memorizing a list of rules. You can't carry a manual around.
Right.
It's about observation. You have to be a bit of a detective.
Ask yourself, what is this person valuing right now?
Exactly.
Is it efficiency, like on the East Coast? Is it good vibes on the West Coast? Is it politeness in the South?
Yes. Once you spot the value, the behavior makes sense. The New Yorker isn't rude. They're valuing your time. The West Coaster isn't lying. They're valuing the mood. The Southerner isn't fake. They're valuing social harmony.
It's about empathy, really.
It is. And this helps everyone, not just English language learners. It helps introverts. It helps neurodivergent folks, anyone who feels a bit socially awkward. Once you realize there's a script, you stop taking things so personally.
You stop feeling rejected when the let's hang out guy disappears.
Exactly.
Right.
You realize, oh, he was just playing his part in the script. He was trying to be nice.
So what's the one thing our listeners should do this week to practice?
Yeah.
We always like to leave them with something actionable.
Okay, my favorite tip. Watch an American movie or a TV show, maybe The Office or a drama, but turn the sound off for a minute. Or just ignore the words. Watch the faces.
Watch the faces. Why?
Because the body language often tells the truth that the words are trying to hide. Look at the reaction. When someone says, that's an interesting idea, does the other person look excited? Or do they look like they just smelled something bad?
Spot the disconnect between the words and the face.
Yes. If the mouth says yes, but the eyes say help me, trust the eyes, that's where the hidden script lives. Micro-expressions don't lie.
That is great advice. I'm going to rewatch some movies tonight and see what I missed.
And maybe check your spam folder for that guy's email. Just kidding. He definitely did not email you.
Ouch. Too soon. But point taken. Lesson learned.
But hey, this was really fun. We should definitely do this again sometime.
Hey, do you mean that? Or is that the script?
In this case, I actually mean it. I'll send you a calendar invite.
I'll be waiting for it. Thanks for decoding the world for us.
My pleasure.
And everyone listening, good luck with your sandwich. Make sure you find the meat. Catch you next time.